back with the WMAY Morning News Feed. I'm Greg Bishop. I'm joined in studio now by Chris Davis. He is the new state director for the National Federation of Independent Business, the director of Illinois' operations here. Chris, thanks for taking time. How you doing?
I'm very well, Greg. Thank you for having me in studio this morning.
Absolutely. So you're taking over for Mark Grant, who retired from the NFIB. Tell us what the role of state director does.
State director is the primary voice for small business in the state of Illinois and the Illinois state capital. We serve primarily as the lead lobbyist and government affairs professional for the National Federation of Independent Business. Here in Illinois, we represent about 11,000 small businesses across the state.
What are some of the key issues facing business in Illinois right now?
In Illinois in particular right now is we are facing a $4.5 billion unemployment insurance deficit. Obviously we're always watching out for new regulations. Illinois attempted last year to pass mandatory paid leave, and those are a lot of the issues that we're facing.
So you've been around Springfield a long time. Give us a bit of your background here.
Yeah, born and raised here in Springfield. Grew up here in the Springfield area, in Springfield and in Chatham, and started with the Illinois General Assembly as a young legislative staffer, and then went into lobbying. I've lobbied for the Home Builders Association of Illinois, worked with Associated General Contractors, independent insurance agents here in Illinois.
So you kind of know how the sausage is made, so to speak.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. It's not a pretty process, is it?
It is not, no.
So how do you best navigate all of this and take into account the sentiments of these small employers?
Well, I think NFIB does a great job of surveying their members. We reach out to our members and we ask them what matters to them. And then I just relay that to the members of the General Assembly, and I carry their message forward. It's more difficult now. Obviously, things are virtual in the Illinois General Assembly right now. They're not here in Springfield in person, and that does complicate things, but we still do the best we can to get our voice heard.
Well, I'll tell you, as a reporter who covers the State House closely, having them actually in person, it's always easy to find somebody in the hallway and to get them to respond to things or ask them questions. That has not really been the case with their virtual hearings. Talk a bit more about how that impacts being able to get the voters and the taxpayers' voices to the elected representatives.
Well, it's just harder to build relationships, to build trust, and to be heard. Again, as you said, you can always run into somebody. You can always track somebody down. They're so busy right now. Obviously, we're spending a significant amount of time on virtual hearings. So it's harder even to just get a phone call answered or returned, but they're doing the best they can as well.
We're talking with Chris Davis. He is the new NFIB Illinois State Director on the WMAY Morning News Feed. I'm Greg Bishop. Chris, you'd mentioned one of the big issues is the unemployment debt, $4.5 billion. If that's not addressed, it's going to increase taxes on employers. It's going to decrease benefits on the employees who need those benefits. What's the latest you're hearing about this? Because we still don't know how much fraud there's been in the system.
We don't. And we are meeting with the governor's office, with labor. The agreed bill process has begun, and we're playing out those scenarios and what that looks like. And we'll see where we end up at the end of the day. But obviously, Illinois has a history of sharing that cost, whatever that might be. 38 other states across the nation have used COVID relief funds, have used the ARPA funds to address all or a portion of that debt. So we're just analyzing all the options on the table at this point in time.
What are some of the other key issues you think could be addressed in this short session? I mean, they've got the same number of days, so to speak, but they've already canceled 12 of 13 days or something so far this year.
Yes, I'm not confident a lot is going to get accomplished, and that's okay this year. Um, the less impact we can have on small businesses is fine this year, but I think we will pass a budget. I think we will address two or three large issues, such as the unemployment insurance trust fund deficit, and they'll head back out to their districts and new districts and campaign for reelection.
One of the things that we've seen over the past 2 years, and you're kind of coming on board in this quasi post COVID era. I don't know what you would call it, but what lessons were learned from that last 2 years? What takeaways should small business have from how the government reacted, from the mandates that came down from not just the governor, but from localities, from local health departments and whatnot? What are some of the things that you think that small businesses took away from all of this?
Well, I think we've seen that small businesses are resilient. Um, they they're they're such a fundamental component to our economy and to their communities, and they have they have handled every crisis and every uh, emergency with aplomb and dignity, and they continue to come out on top, and they continue to forge ahead. And I can't be more proud to sit in this chair today and represent everything that they've accomplished over the last 2 years.
It's pretty remarkable. Some didn't survive, though.
No,
Some small businesses just kind of weren't able to do the remote thing because their business, there's no way to do with a remote thing. So, I mean, a lot of these different situations businesses were put in. Does it give them a different perspective on the importance of having the NFIB, for instance, to be there to go to bat?
our membership numbers, we had record membership sales last year in 2021, and we're already hitting the ground running in 2022. Our sales team here in Illinois is they're out on the roads, and they're having tremendous success in selling the NFIB uh, business voice and what we can do for them. We, the victory that we just had at the Supreme Court on the vaccine mandate is tremendous for small businesses across the country.
And something that will obviously uh, we'll see some businesses implement these things, right? I mean, because
Sure,
it didn't say small business couldn't implement these things.
absolutely. So, and that's what the case was all about. Um, the ability for the the president and OSHA to do these things unilaterally. If this was a legislative congressional mandate, we probably would not have been successful. Um, and it's the freedom for businesses to run their businesses how they want to to do that. Uh, we certainly encourage businesses that want to encourage their employees to get vaccinated. That's their right as a business owner. If their employees are not going to get vaccinated, they that's their right as a business owner and as an individual.
Chris Davis, he is the new Illinois director for the National Federation of Independent Business. I imagine you and I will talk many more times here in the future about this and other issues.
I hope so.
Appreciate the time. It is the WMAY morning news feed, now 6:50, and